Hey, First Family. I am here in Baltimore at the Transformation Center, and I'm here with Mallory, who is one of the we'll call it workers missionaries. How would you
I'm Director of Operations.
Director of
yeah.
Operations. There you go, Director of Operations. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about what happens at the Transformation Center, why it's here, and how our partnership makes a gospel impact here in this community. So let's just go ahead and start with the basics. You've given us your name, but name and title, that's minuscule. We want to know a little bit more about Mallory. So just give us a kind of like the 30-second bio of who you are, where you're from, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. So my name's Mallory, and I was born and raised here in Baltimore. And my parents grew up in this community. Actually, my grandparents did as well in Federal Hill, where our first ministry was established, like almost 30 years ago. And so we moved over to Brooklyn here, and that's where I came to learn and love Brooklyn and the community. But so I am the Director of Operations, and my background's in social work. And when I actually started interning here at the Transformation Center, and I just fell in love with the work that we do and the community, and been here ever since.
Okay, so what does a Director of Operations do at a place like the Transformation Center?
Anything and everything.
Okay.
So we, I oversee all of our programming, but that means literally anything. Unloading trucks, that means taking out trash, that means connecting with our community members. I oversee our programming, specifically TC Prince. Helps launch that program, and that's kind of where I live these days. Okay. I oversee all of our other things that we got going on.
Fantastic. So I do have an important question that everyone is going to be dying to know, and that what is your go-to Chick-fil-A order?
I am a Chick-fil-A fan.
All right.
I'm going to say a breakfast.
Okay.
I love the chicken minis with some strawberry jelly.
Okay.
And the hash brown.
Nice.
And then my lunch order, a number one with American cheese.
Very good. So you're going to add the cheese on top of them?
Always.
All right.
Cheese on everything.
Bonus. Add the cheese. So no one's ever gone for a breakfast. I've asked a lot of people that.
Oh, yeah.
And typically it's in that lunch menu.
Not? Their breakfast
Listen,
is amazing.
you're branching out.
Yeah.
All right. You're a foodie. I love it. So you've been here like all your life in this area, and so you had to have an idea of just what the life and the rhythms of like Baltimore is all about, and that includes things like the sports here. And so, look, we're in the DC area, so we've got our caps and our nets and all that kind of stuff. But for you guys here, like, who do you like to cheer for the most? Is there a go-to team for you?
I feel like I literally can't say one or the other. I don't think that's allowed in Baltimore. You have to be a fan of the Orioles and the Ravens. I definitely enjoy going to more baseball games. I lean more on the baseball side. I try to go to one, maybe every other week. So my house is really close to the Camden Yard, so I get to walk there, so it's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is a nice perk. I like that.
Yeah, don't have to pay for parking.
Fantastic. So finish this sentence for me. My favorite thing about Baltimore is what?
The people. Yeah,
people?
the people.
Why the people?
Yeah,
what is it about Baltimore folks that you love so much?
Yeah, I went away to college out of state. I went to Florida and then to Tennessee. And I fully thought I would live in Tennessee my whole life. And then really God stirred in me. And when I went out of state, I kind of was able to appreciate Baltimore more, just for the realness. When I came back to Baltimore, I was pursuing my graduate degree, and I just really got to appreciate Baltimore for what it is and who the people are. And that's what made me stay, really, and truly the people here at the Transformation Center. But you will not find more real people, whether you like it or not. They're going to keep it straight with you, and I love that about Baltimore. I think a lot of people can put a facade on, but there's real needs here in Baltimore, and they're not afraid to tell you about them.
Fantastic. So just what you just said about people, real needs, I mean, obviously that brings us to why Transformation Center is even here. So how does Transformation Center go about making a gospel impact in a community like Brooklyn?
Yeah, so Baltimore and the East Coast, you guys are familiar. Sometimes we have to take unique approaches to sharing the gospel because we're not fully in the Bible Belt. a lot of people haven't been introduced to who Jesus truly is. So the Transformation Center exists to be Jesus in a holistic form. You know, we feel like the work that we do here is what Jesus would be doing and is doing. We feel like we are the church being here. The Transformation Center is the program aspects, but we have our church that's located just 1 block away, where we plug in truly to that spiritual component. But in our community specifically, they're dealing with hard needs. They're hungry. They don't have shelter. They're looking for a job. And when they're in the trenches of that, Jesus, they're just trying to get food, and so that's why we want to be Jesus, give them food, give them shelter, do our program aspects.
Right.
And that really opens the door to sharing Jesus and sharing the gospel with them. And it really creates just, a level even playing field, to where we can just open the door, get real, and just show who Jesus truly is.
So it's a gospel-driven compassion ministry.
Absolutely.
Right? You guys kind of weave that into everything you guys do. So it's not just here's some help.
Right.
Like you need that help, but you
Yeah.
also have a bigger issue that we can also help with, and that's give you the gospel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the ways that you guys are, I think, unique in a lot of community-based ministries is that you have started a business.
Yeah.
And we're standing in that business right now, and it's TC Prints.
Yeah.
So what is TC Prints? How did it get started? And kind of what does it do? How does it bless individuals in this community?
Yeah, for sure. So TC Prints is a screen printing company, and we have a opportunity to really invest and employ men in our community. That's why we started. We wanted to not only be a place where we can hire, but really invest in and minister to and mentor people in our community that have barriers of employment, whether that's from prior incarceration, generational poverty, or addiction. So that's why we started. We wanted to be able to bring on some guys, show a trade, also work on different workforce development components, and also that have a mentorship aspect. They meet once a week and just get together, go through life together, and just be a support. So yeah, TC Prints is exactly that. And we get to do fun things in addition to that, like print cool shirts and custom artwork for businesses, churches, individuals. So yeah, we love it up here.
Well, we love what you guys do. In fact, we love it so much that our Student Collective conference shirts from this past year were printed by you guys right here at this. What is this? What is this apparatus? What do you call this?
Yes, this is our screen printing wheel. A wheel.
I should have guessed it was a screen printing wheel. That's too obvious.
Yeah, we can do 10 shirts at a time and up to 10 colors.
That's fantastic.
The big dog, yeah.
Well, this is an amazing aspect to what you guys do here at Transformation Center. I mean, it's more than just, those occasional meetings with folks. I mean, it really is a deeper life opportunity to build those relationships. And this helps you take that to a whole new level.
Right.
Adding the employment dynamic, the mentorship dynamic, and just going deep life with people, applying the gospel truths, and just seeing people really redeemed and just built up in Christ as He intends.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why we at FBCW love to partner with you guys, because not just with what you do, but like what you stand for.
Right.
A lot of places can do a lot of good, but not every place does gospel with that. And you guys marry the two so well here. So tell me about partnerships. How do partnerships help you guys to do what you do?
Yeah, partnerships are everything for us. We have a really small staff. We really are reliant on partnerships and volunteers. So partnerships really make what we do possible, whether that's collecting peanut butter like you guys do, or whether that's, bringing volunteer crews, or, collecting items for us like backpacks or clothing items. Really, it comes in and it goes right out the door, right to the people that need it the most. So yeah, partnerships are how we are alive.
Okay. So speaking of that partnership, so we are the peanut butter church, and we love being the peanut butter church. So for those in our church that have given jars of peanut butter, I mean, what they've done is they've gone to the store, they've bought a jar, they've brought it to the church, they put it in a donation bin for Transformation Center, and that's kind of where they say bye to that.
Right.
And so they don't always get to see what happens to that jar of peanut butter here. So walk me through, what does that little jar of peanut butter, what's its journey once it gets here? What do you guys do with it? Is there a particular ministry that it's helping you guys to fulfill?
Yeah, so every Saturday we serve around 150 to 175 families for food and groceries and clothing. So that's around like 500, 600 individuals that we're serving on a weekly basis. So right here in Brooklyn, we're in a food desert. Our closest grocery store is almost 3 miles away. A lot of our community members don't have means of transportation. So when you're thinking of having to take the public bus, grab your groceries, it's almost a 2-hour round trip. So a lot of people in our community rely on places like us to get their source of food. So that peanut butter means everything. And trust me, we haven't had peanut butter for a really long time. We were actually just talking about it. We used to have peanut butter a lot, and we haven't had it in probably a year. So next week it's going out, and I know we're going to get so many comments about, oh my gosh, we have peanut butter again.
Fantastic.
So,
that's
seriously,
amazing to hear.
Yep.
So, all right, First Family, when we do a peanut butter blitz, that means bring in the peanut butter. So be looking for the next one coming up here in a few months. And let's make sure that these families have an opportunity to just have the nourishment they need in this community. That's an incredible ministry you guys do with the feeding, especially given the circumstances that are here. Just as we wrap up, Mallory, can you tell me a story of how the gospel has transformed someone's life or a situation through the Transformation Center here?
Yeah, absolutely. God's always at work here. One story that I love to share is actually involves a mission team that came as one of our partners. And in Brooklyn, there's, I love to speak positively, but there is a lot of hard darkness here. A lot of our girls in our community have to, sell their bodies for means of money or to feed their addiction. And one of our mission teams was ministering to some of the girls in our community, and one in particular they made a really good connection with. And she was sitting on the steps of our building, and they're praying over her, and one of the women on the mission team felt called to wash her feet, and brought a basin out and began to wash her feet, which led to her sharing the gospel, and which caused this individual to give her life to Christ and removed herself from prostituting. So yeah, that's just one way that we see God moving here, and that gives the opportunity to share the gospel.
That's great. The gospel changes everything.
Yeah.
And so that's why we love partnering with you guys so much. And I really appreciate the chance to sit here and talk about what you guys do and to share that with our church family. We sometimes schedule like actual trips to come up here and serve, but we're so close. I mean, DC Metro, Baltimore,
Neighbors.
So close. I'm sure some of our church family would just love to get a chance on their own to just come up here and serve. How can they do that? What's the best way for them to just connect with you guys and plan a time to come up here and serve?
Yeah, so on our website you can fill out, we have a Get Involved tab on our website. It's transformationcenter.tc. And there's a Get Involved tab, and you can fill out a volunteer form. We do a little brief overview of what we are and what to expect, and they can sign up to serve right away.
Fantastic. Mallory, thank you so much for the time. Thank you so much for just sharing your heart about this community, about TC, about the gospel. It's just great to be able to share this with our folks. And remember, this is one of our key partners in our Go and Tell ministry. So keep participating in our peanut butter blitzes, keep praying for Transformation Center, and keep looking for those opportunities to serve either with the church or on your own as we make disciples as we go and tell.